Hello, everyone, and welcome to Locker Talk, episode 46, the show everything WWE past, present, and future. I am your host, Colton. As always, by my side, my co host, the main event, Matt. And we are coming to bring you our late night review, our live review of NXT TakeOver Dallas. One heck of a show. And so Matt and I, we were here enjoying the show together, which is always fun to do to talk about the show and joke about the show. And hey, look, we got a viewer. Thanks, Farmer. Um,
0 viewers.
and so, yeah, of course. And so, really fun show. I think we both enjoyed it a lot.
It was fun.
And as always, we will read out your tweets that you have sent in on your thoughts. And so the first tweet comes from MI cool underscore 478 on Twitter, who has said, so many great matches. Zayn versus Nakamura was greatness. Gonna be hard for WrestleMania to top it. I agree. Are you okay there?
Yeah, fix my pant legs.
Okay. As long as you're wearing pants, I'm happy. And then at KDP Buddha has tweeted 5 tremendous matches tonight. Nakamura versus Zayn stole the show. The tag match was certainly a close second, though. The biggest surprise of the night for me was Asuka taking the title from Bayley, and I think the crowd agree with me. I do as well. And the title match was hard-hitting and gave us a nice win by Balor. The flow of the match was hurt by Joe's cut, though. Definitely agree there. And last but potentially least is our good friend Farmer, who is at Daily Matt Byrne. Make sure you go follow all 3 of these people on Twitter. And Farmer has said, opening match was great wrestling, not the most entertaining. Baron Corbin gets better with every breath he takes. That's a Police reference, and I appreciate it. Nakamura versus Zayn was a wet dream of a match. Farmer has a thing about this, and it's kind of freaking me out. Hard hitting and plenty of great spots. I don't think Asuka will ever lose. The main event was great and completely subverted our expectations. I think it was the best thing tonight. Interesting. I also found it interesting that Farmer used both of his Twitter accounts to tweet us for this.
One is supposed to be specifically wrestling.
Yeah. Either way, so thank you to all of you guys for tweeting us. We really appreciate it. We appreciate and enjoy interacting with everyone, especially on fun nights like tonight. But now for the reason that the thousands and thousands of you are here to listen to us talk and give our thoughts on NXT TakeOver Dallas. So, Matt, American Alpha, the revival. What'd you think?
It was surprising after seeing the full card. It was surprising that this started off. It was definitely not all rise. The match was really good. It had a lot of 2.5 counts, almost 3s. Did the tricks. It was just a great technically wrestled match. It was a great Smash Mouth match. Smash Mouth.
That's hard to say.
Yes. Unfortunately, during our stream, the ending of the show, or the ending of the match, froze. Let's say about 5 seconds before the pin.
Yeah.
So it froze, and then all we heard was, and new NXT Tag Team Champions.
Yeah.
It's like we didn't. There was no pin. There was no finishing move. There was no nothing.
Yeah, it froze right after the tag from Jordan to Gable, and it froze. And I hear is 3 and new tag team, and I'm like, what happened? Yeah, this stream was a bit obnoxious tonight. Although we kind of noticed that it only affected every other match, which sucked because there was only like 5 or 6 matches, and so it really got into the way of all the really good ones. But yeah, I really enjoyed this match. I'm a big fan of both Gable and Jordan and Dash and Dawson. Both are 2 of the most athletically superior and just technically wrestling sound teams in the WWE right now. And so we knew this was going to be a great match, and I think it lived up to the hype. The Revival, Dash and Dawson, I think did a really good job. You know, we always talk about how they're really good at heel team, and I think they stepped that up to an even higher level tonight. Sneaking under the ring, which we noted would not be something we would like to do ever, be under a wrestling ring. to knock Jordan off the apron and to completely cut off and surround Gable and push him back into the opposite corner. Just some really good stuff. And I think we got a really good feel-good moment in American Alpha. If you like that team name, which you do, you have bad taste, which sucks because I love America and everything about America, but I don't love the American Alpha name.
Well, it's always exciting to see a title change.
Yeah.
Especially on pay-per-view.
And especially those two guys have worked so hard, and you could see it in their faces how excited they were.
I mean, I love Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin as much as the next guy.
Yeah. I mean, I heard a few Shelton Benjamin chants, so that was pretty good. Next match, Austin Aries debuting his first match in WWE and NXT against anti-indie Baron Corbin. Personally, I thought this match was the worst on the card. There wasn't a bad match on the card. I'm not saying this was a bad match, but as matches go, all of them were at such a high level that I thought this one kind of fell a little bit short. I've never seen Austin Aries wrestle before. This is my first time, and to be honest, I wasn't impressed. I'm a big fan of Baron Corbin. I think has a lot of potential. And in NXT, where it seems that they're kind of short on really good, believable heels, I think Baron Corbin is definitely at the top, along with Samoa Joe. But yeah, I just really wasn't interested in the match. We were kind of talking about the effects of having a McDonald's value menu throughout most of the match.
I angry tweeted McDonald's.
And promos and angry tweets and getting celebrities to tweet us. And so to all the celebrities who watch the show, we thank you for tweeting back at us. You know who you are. But yeah, just wasn't really overly impressed. I thought the ending was a little sudden for me. It didn't seem legitimate, which may have been the point. Corbin was obviously a little ticked off, as he should be. But yeah, I don't know. It didn't live up to the hype of Austin Aries and the hype of this entire show.
Well, yes. And cheap plug here, mentioning my angry tweet. If you don't know already, after months of my hiatus, my personal account, I have started tweeting again. So you should go follow that as well.
What's that personal account, Matt?
It's on there actually. The Locker Talk thing. It is Tennis Assassin.
Which is a great story. If you've never heard the Tennis Assassin story, you should listen to it sometime.
You should request it, and we will tell you next time. But this match I feel like was the worst card. We didn't really pay attention a whole lot because there was just nothing that exciting happening. I say that, but there was some good spots happening. It was very unbelievable that Baron Corbin was going to win the match, seeing as it was Austin Aries' first match, highly coveted free agent coming over. But for all the hype, I didn't see anything special from Austin Aries. I didn't see that shining charisma from other people that we will get to later, who wears red pants. But
you're not talking about blue pants, that's for sure.
In the next match, who debuted.
Oh, that's a great segue. The next match was something I wasn't prepared for. I mean, obviously, there's only a certain number of matches on this card, so it had to come up eventually. But that was a debuting Shinsuke Nakamura, the King of Strong Style, against the King of everything else, Sami Zayn. It didn't really click to me that this match was coming up that quickly. Like, I wasn't prepared for it. And I was threatening the computer in the live stream to not screw up on this match. This is the one match I didn't want any obstruction, which of course it immediately happened. But regardless of that, we made it through the match, and good golly, Miss Molly, what a match it was. It was a fantastic match. As of right now, this is my match of the year. It's going to be pretty tough to top it. I mean, I remember NXT, it's a month and a half ago, 2 months, something like that. They had that Samoa Joe versus Tommaso Ciampa match where they're just striking and slapping, hit each other as hard as they can. And I just remember thinking, wow, this is just a really hard-hitting match. It was a short match. It was a really hard-hitting match. And this match made it look like a couple of children fighting in a sandbox. Man, some of those strikes from Nakamura and from Zayn as well were just tremendous. I mean, I thought Nakamura brought the absolute best out in Sami Zayn, which is saying a lot because, in my opinion, Sami Zayn is one of, if not the best in NXT and the best that NXT maybe has ever had to offer. And so, man, it was just a really fun match. Obviously, there's no chance that Nakamura was going to lose his debut match, potentially the most hyped free agent signing in NXT history, and against Mr. NXT, who I have officially dubbed Sami Zayn as. And man, we had a heck of a match, and it was really fun to watch. Sami Zayn got a great little tribute at the end, a thank you Sami Zayn chant, which was really great. This is obviously Sami Zayn's not going to be a full-time NXT wrestler anymore. And he gets rewarded for having a phenomenal match against Shinsuke Nakamura with a 7-man ladder match at WrestleMania. So I think he's going to be feeling it a little bit this week. Yeah, Matt, was this your first time seeing Shinsuke Nakamura in action?
It was not.
It was not. Have you?
I have looked him up.
Looked him up?
Previously, yes. As soon as I heard Adam
Blompier, the Brits from what culture? Who are our second favorite Brits? Let's just make that clear to anyone who may or may not be listening to the show.
Yes. As soon as I heard him talk about the King of Strong Style and his insistency that he should have the title of "fuck you."
The "fuck you" title.
Yeah. I looked him up. I had to look him up because I love those types of wrestlers, and he's brutal. He is a beast. His face is as old as time. He's 28 years old, so he is basically a bulldog.
Yeah. John Mulaney's bulldog, to be specific.
Yes, he definitely fought against Hitler. I'm going to go on a limb here and say that was accidental bleeding by Nakamura because it was a nosebleed. It was a nosebleed, basically. So I think Zayn just accidentally popped him in the nose once.
Maybe there's just low humidity in the arena.
Maybe, yes.
I don't
know. Maybe he's prone to nosebleeds altogether. I don't know. But it was a great match. The spots were on point. There was no botches anywhere. These guys were amazing. Zayn started out the match looking really strong. Nakamura just throwing knees everywhere. And it kind of got to me a little bit. Nakamura is kind of twitches. He's like he walks around. He's like, It gets to me, so I don't know if I could.
It's a good pantomime.
I don't know. It got to me. I was like, he's got to stop moving. He has to stop moving. I'm going to start itching myself all over. I don't know. I can't deal with that very well. But the Nakamura was amazing. He got to do. We were talking about this before the match, and you wondered how much of his arsenal WWE and Vince was going to let him use. It used a lot of it.
Yeah,
a lot of it. The knees came pretty close every time, especially with Zayn's between the ropes.
That was really
came
cool.
up with the knee, hit him. Colt made a good point about the camera angle. That camera angle was super amazing because he obviously missed him by a few inches. But with that camera angle, it looks like he got him spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall, it was just match of the night, category for match of the year for next year's Locker Talk Awards. And I'm super excited about Shinsuke Nakamura in the future.
Yeah, he's. Although I have a feeling that they're going to run out of wrestlers pretty quick who are going to agree to get in the ring with this guy.
Well, I'm looking forward to Asuka versus Nakamura.
I'm looking forward to. I can't say that. That's not okay. I'll say I can't wait to see Asuka against Eva Marie again because I just love seeing Eva Marie get the shit kicked out of her. Is that wrong to say?
I don't think so.
Okay, good.
I think you're in the clear.
Yeah, it would have been wrong to say I want to see Nakamura kick her, which is what my original thought was, but I'm gonna to stop myself. Unlike the crowd during the main event, but we're not quite there yet. So we get this match and we're like, damn, how are they going to possibly follow that? And so we looked at the card and we saw that Elias Sampson against Apollo Crews was a dark match beforehand, so we're not going to get that little bit of a breather. And so we're just jumping right back in to Asuka versus Bayley. which I noted is essentially the same thing as Nakamura versus Zayn. The lovable, longtime NXT person in Zayn and Bailey going up against the incoming new. I mean, I don't want to go there, but obviously the Asian. I mean, I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. Who is known for kicking people and just being a really stiff worker and beating the heck out of people. And both obviously going to be an amazing match, which is what we got. Man, the crowd, you can tell how tired they were for this match. But they kept going. If this was a Raw crowd, they probably would have been passed out at this point. But I give them credit. They were at least trying to keep chants going and to get Bailey's going to hug you. Asuka's going to kill you. Those fun things that we all chant at wrestling events. And so this match was really good. I think if we hadn't just seen Nakamura versus Zayn, we would have thought it's even better, which is crazy because it was a really, really solid match. And I think if we go back in the future and we just watch this match by itself without watching the other ones, we're going to think, wow, this is a phenomenal match, which it really was. And I have to agree with what was said earlier. I didn't see Bailey losing the title. I mean, I gave Asuka a bit of a chance just because, one, she's never been pinned, and two, she's crazy and scary and kills everything in sight. But honestly, I didn't think that Bailey would lose the title this quickly. But it'll be interesting to see where they go from here, man. Just the match, the back and forth, the false finishes, everything that happened in this match was just really, really enjoyable to watch. And I'm glad we got to see it. All these matches were just incredible. And so, yeah, I really enjoyed this match. Once again, I feel like it's kind of a broken record at this point. Oh, this match was really good. We really enjoyed it. The crowd was really good. It's kind of
our opinions are important.
Yeah, they're just our voices. I think is what gives it more credence than others. So yeah, go ahead, give your thoughts.
I feel like this is one of the best women's match I've seen in a couple months, especially like main roster work.
In a couple months, I mean, like I understand what you're saying there, but it's amazing that we're saying within the past few months, because if this was a year ago or 2 years ago, we would have said this is the greatest women's match we've ever seen. Because I think it's just amazing how far the women have come just in the past year or so with, Sasha and Charlotte and Becky on the main roster, and you have Bailey and Asuka down in NXT, all doing this fantastic work that you can say something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That is the best you've seen in a few months. So, yeah.
Well,
go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you again. Actually, I didn't mean to interrupt you because I obviously did, but I'm going to let you go on now.
That's okay.
Sorry.
A lot of people know that I'm not a big NXT watcher.
Ooh.
But I have seen Asuka on NXT before, and I've looked up matches that she's been in and stuff. So I'm a really big fan of her. I'm a really big fan of her style of wrestling because I like people who are more hardcore. I like people who make it more real than it actually is, because it makes it easier on me when I'm arguing with someone who comes up to me and is like, "Hey man, WWE's fake." I'm like, "Listen, fella, listen, chief. Let me tell you something about your life." And then we argue for a couple minutes. So those people make it really easy on me because I'm like, these guys are obviously hitting very hard. But the women's match, it was really good. I took a poll before. Well, I didn't take a poll. I voted in a poll. Partook in, and I voted that Bailey was going to retain and Joe was going to win the title. And I thought it was interesting because they had Asuka winning that, and they had Balor retaining. Obviously, I was wrong, and the internet was right.
Maybe you should watch NXT more. You might know these things.
Well,
Except I was wrong as well too, so it's okay.
So I mean, the match was crazy. A lot of submissions back and forth. I do like how they ended it. I'm a big fan of. How they ended it. Bailey didn't appear weak. She didn't tap out. She wasn't pinned. It was a John Cena finish.
Except she actually lost, unlike Cena.
Well, but Cena's lost this way, I think, once or twice.
To Rusev, yes.
Just pass out, and I think he lost to Umaga this way as well once. back in 2006.
I don't remember that far back. I'm sorry.
I do really enjoy that feud, so I normally know these facts about that. But just passed out, lose the title clean. I don't think Bailey's going to come on the main roster, though. I think we're going to get Enzo Big Cass or the Vaude Villains, or a tease, and Vince is just going to, like, one of the musics, and then Vince is just going to walk out. So I thought you were getting that, man. No,
sorry, pal.
You're getting Roman Reigns. Get him out here. Get him out here.
Oh, we're terrible. But it's funny. Yeah, I agree. I think Bailey still looked really strong. It kind of left the door open. She didn't give up. She was not actually pinned. She just passed out. One thing I read from a Twitter account was that Bailey's biggest superfan, Izzy, was carried out of the arena by her dad after this match. So to show you the impact of this and to show how much this means to people, that's really big. It kind of made me sad. I won't lie, because she's just such a cute little girl. And Sasha made her cry in the match, but then Sasha gave her flowers after. But Asuka is just kind of mean and just made her hero pass out. So maybe there's hope that Bailey won't be the next John Cena. Maybe she'll just be Bailey and won't be super happy and super face and super unbeatable. So that gives me hope.
I could see it coming though. There's no way she'd be a heel.
You should. Well, yeah, always that, but I hope it's not to the level of Cena, where, I mean, super face all the time, never loses, never gives up.
I heard she just got a scholarship though.
Bailey?
Yeah.
For what?
She's gonna get a doctorate in thugonomics.
Oh.
Word life.
Anywho, so back on track for this. And so we get to Finn Balor against Samoa Joe. And I'm obviously wearing my nice Balor Club shirt, but I think we were both kind of going for Joe on this. Balor has had the title for a long time. And to take nothing away from Finn Balor or his abilities and his accomplishments, but I kind of think that his title run hasn't been quite up to the standards of other NXT champions like a Kevin Owens or a Neville. Don't get me wrong, like all of his matches have been really good, but I feel like the storylines haven't quite been there. And I feel like he kind of disappears on NXT for a while.
Long stretches of time.
I understand they tape multiple shows in one night, and you obviously can't have the same guy coming out for 3 or 4 times. But it seems like they'll go 3 or 4 shows without Balor even appearing once, and he kind of becomes an afterthought. And I feel like even tonight with Nakamura debuting against Sami Zayn and Bayley versus Asuka, I feel like this title match kind of played second fiddle to those matches. And so I feel like they watch Nakamura versus Zayn, and Joe and Balor kind of look at each other and they're like, how are we going to top that? And Joe's like, oh, we'll just bust my eye open in the first 5 seconds. That'll work really well. And so I liked and I disliked the blood here. Obviously, it's whether or not it was intentional or not. And I'm not one of those people who I'm not like you. I don't need to see blood to have a great match. I don't really crave it, but every once in a while it's interesting to see, although like you said, Nakamura busted open his nose earlier. Mm-hmm. It is interesting to see. And so I like that. I mean, the crowd reaction was a little funny, a little bit off to me. But I think at the same time, the insistent, they need to check on Joe to make sure he's okay and to clean it up. And the camera obviously not panning in directly on the blood, but with Joe insisting on, he pushing them away and trying to continue the match. It kind of obviously it slowed it down a little bit. And eventually they just, they essentially tell me, hey, we legitimately, we need to take care of this. Excuse me. And, they obviously made Joe stop for a while and clean up the blood. But, that was good. I mean, I enjoyed it, but also it disrupted the pacing, I think is what I want to say here. of the match. But other than that, all the rest of the match was phenomenal, top notch. Balor Joe in London, but I think it was definitely a unique match with the blood that happened. Oh, I won't read that out because it's not good for you. But getting tweets during the show, it's fun stuff. Anywho, Could you talk a little quieter, please? I'm trying to do a show here. Please tweet in silence. Sorry about that, people. Where was I? Anywho, so yeah, I thought the match was really fun. Balor kicked out of the Muscle Buster, which is crazy. I don't think we've seen that in NXT. That's the move that almost killed Tyson Kidd, which is kind of a scary thought. But I like the way it ended. Balor trying to fight out of the Koji clutch, and Joe keep putting in, and he eventually rolled him over and got the pin. I thought it was a good ending. I thought it might have been a minute or 2 minutes even too soon, which is really, really nitpicky. But I mean, on a show of this quality, you kind of have to be nitpicky to find any faults. You know, that one botch by Dash and Dawson, which the crowd was chanting Botchamania. And then, I mean, after that, I think Dash and Dawson, they were kind of inspired by that, and then they went on and had an even better match than before. But we're here talking about the main event, not you, but the show. So yeah, Balor retains. He will still be NXT champion. We've had a lot of rumor. Actually, you know what? Before we get into that, let's get your opinion. You can stop tweeting Farmer and give your opinion on this main event. Let's get our thoughts. This is our new segment for today. The main event with the main event.
You are right that I do crave the blood. I do crave the hardcore matches.
You're sick. You disgust me.
Well,
I'm just kidding. You don't.
I often think, segue up a little bit. Segue, Farmer. Segue off a little bit to
Okay.
when I think of like The Undertaker, Stone Cold, The Rock, Mick Foley, do they think these guys are soft now? Because they're like, oh, I'm not gonna take that bump. I'm not gonna do this. And Vince, like, oh, these guys can't do this. This is new shit. Like older folks come up to like you and me and other people our age and be like, well, you guys with your technology and this and that, you guys are soft. Yeah.
How soft? Like SAWFT soft?
Well, do you think
How
guys like that, like Stone Cold, think these new guys are a little bit soft?
I mean, I think some of them, yeah, but yeah. I think a lot
like Tyler Breeze obviously won't take a cut to the face.
I mean, I wouldn't. If I was Tyler Breeze, I would have that face insured for like $1 billion, because there is not a more gorgeous human being on this earth. Let's be honest here.
Well, getting to the main event, I think this is going to be eerily similar to Sunday night. Ooh. After Brock Lesnar, Dean Ambrose, after Shane McMahon, Undertaker, you're going to have Triple H, Roman Reigns, which is going to be a good match, just like Samoa Joe and Balor was. But after two better matches, it's just not going to be there for the crowd. It's not going to be there for the fans. We're going to be emotionally wiped by what's happening on Sunday, just like TakeOver. I mean, it was great. Another accidental, maybe not accidental bleed, but accidentally too much blood. Yeah. Probably nicked something there. It was right above the eye. It was nice to see him just kind of like shut people off. Colt made a point of saying there should be an indie doctor come out and Joe should just destroy him. And the chants got a little vulgar at times. Vince was not happy, accidental bleeding, people chanting curse words. All was missing was a CM Punk chant.
And thank you, NXT fans, for being decent human beings and not chanting for someone who gives literally no shits about you or your life, and who doesn't want to be back in the WWE, and who will never, ever be back in the WWE.
Except for WWE Hall of Fame one day. Anyway, so this match, it was good. It could have been placed better, I feel. NXT is always toting on their women. I feel like they could have been a ballsy move and put the women on last.
They have done that. You need to watch that match, first off.
Yes, yes.
Bailey versus Sasha. This guy hasn't watched Bailey versus
I
Sasha.
don't have that much time to sit around and watch that.
Go home right now.
Well, I'm doing a show right now. I can't leave right now.
I mean, you could walk off. It would be a great storyline.
One day I will watch it. You guys can start a petition. If you get at least 7 signatures, 7 likes, I will definitely watch it. So that's your job, Farmer. Start that.
Or I'll just come over a half hour early on Sunday and watch the match, and then have the rest of the show be ruined because it won't be a better match than that one.
We could just watch it during the Team Total Divas.
That's a good idea.
We'd technically be watching a women's match, so
Right.
it's either way.
No, we'd be watching a women's match, not a Divas match.
I said women's match.
I know. I'm saying we'd be watching a women's match, not watching the Divas match that's going on. There's a big difference here.
Well, either way, I was very surprised that Samoa Joe did not win. Like Colton said, Finn Balor's had it for a long time. The title reign has been a little lackluster. I'll tune in sometimes for NXT here and there, and I've noticed that he won't be on it for certain shows, and it's weird to not have your champion on the show. And Samoa Joe has been there. He's been in this title scene for a while now. He's done this, he's done that. Great indie scene guy, and he's got to be a little pissed that his buddy AJ Styles went straight to the main roster WrestleMania match against Chris Jericho, one of the more over guys on the roster now, and he's like, "Oh, still down here, still losing to Finn Balor."
Honestly, one thing I wasn't 100% okay with. Joe looked pissed off after the match. He did a really good job of being pissed, but then he just walked off. Like, I thought he was going to freak out and maybe even continue this feud on. I thought he was going to freak out and just beat the ever living hell out of Finn Balor, and maybe even beat up Drake, because Drake's a wrestler. He's used to wrestler. He can take a bump or two. And I thought Joe was just going to freak out, but he just kind of was mad, and he turned and walked to the back. And so I would have liked to maybe have seen Joe use that anger a little bit more, maybe continue the feud, unless they're not continuing the feud. Maybe Joe's coming up the main roster.
There was no dirty heel work.
No dirty
Shenaniganizing.
I mean, honestly, at this point, who knows who's coming up to the main roster? It could be
There
Joe.
are a lot of signings in NXT currently.
It could be Joe. It could be Balor. It could be Bailey. It could be, obviously, it's going to be Sami Zayn over there. It could be Elias Sampson. I hope to God it's not Elias Sampson. But yeah, TakeOver.
How have we not discussed the person in the front row, one Bobby Roode?
Oh yeah, Mr. Not Eric Young showed up.
The person I prefer out of those two, I don't like Eric Young.
I don't really care for either of them because I don't think I've seen either of them wrestle since. When was the last time TNA was good?
2005 through like 2007 maybe.
So yeah, 11 years ago, the last time I watched TNA, and the last time I saw any of these guys. I really don't remember them well. Really, the only people I remember from TNA who weren't originally in WWE were Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, and Christopher Daniels. Christopher, yeah.
I did follow Beer Money Inc. for a little bit because I enjoyed that. It was a really smash mouth tag team.
Yeah. And of course, James Storm no longer a part of NXT apparently.
We don't want you. So.
Yeah. So sorry, bud. But yeah, interesting. Bobby Roode show. Bobby Roode and Eric Young just got out of their contracts. I think it was last week, I think. And so I don't think that he's officially signed a contract. I'm sure that this means that he will, but maybe they got it done that quickly, but I could be wrong. But yeah, that should be interesting to see where they go. TNA just can't catch a break. WWE is getting all the top stars from them. They're getting all the top stars from New Japan, and TNA is stuck with Matt Hardy. Sometimes life isn't like that.
That was version 1 because he's number 1 too.
Yeah.
He's actually number 1 heel in the company right now.
Yeah, he's the guy who brings his baby out on television. Anyway, we're getting really, really off topic here. I think we should wrap up the show here. And so we thank you for joining us here in this long, convoluted discussion of NXT TakeOver Dallas. But hold on. What is it? The cuckoo clock upstairs tells me that it is midnight. So I would like to be the first person to officially wish the main event.
Thank you.
It's Matt's birthday today, so make sure you send us a tweet at WWE Locker Talk. Tell Matt happy birthday. The young man only turns whatever his age is once, so it's a big day. So once again, thank you everyone for watching the show. We really do appreciate it. For those of you who watch it live, thank you very much. For those of you who are going to watch it in syndication, to use an old TV word, or just watch it on YouTube like a normal person.
It's always more thrilling to do live though.
It is, because we
Feel
can
connected.
we can play off each other a little bit more when we do the other ones. We have that split second delay, and it kind of messes things up because like if you'll say something and I'll go to say something thinking you're done and then you'll talk. We obviously overlap each other.
And there's always that awkward pause then. For
Yeah.
a few seconds no one talks.
Yeah. And so on that note, if anyone knows of any really good video recordings software that's free, because we aren't rich, that we could use, please let us know. Maybe in the comments right down there after you like and subscribe this video. So yeah, I think that's it. Happy birthday, Matt. This has been WWE Locker Talk episode 46. We will see you Sunday night right after WrestleMania. Maybe the same time-ish, maybe an hour earlier. Same place right here on
YouTube. A little
YouTube.
more awake.
Yeah, at WWE Locker Talk. So thank you for watching. I am Colton. That is the main event. Birthday boy, Matt. And we will see you next time for WrestleMania 32.